Yo, what's up, guys? We're going to find some bets for Monday Night Football. We got a couple games tonight, and we got some interesting bets. So we're going to look for a bunch of plays. You can see we got Eagles, Bucs, Eagles, minus 230. So lines are moving back towards the Bengals. I'm not sure. Was there a decision on Joe Burrow? Is he playing? Is he not playing? I don't know. But you can see here, right? They were, a week ago, the Bengals were minus 335 favorites. So obviously there's different levels of being a favorite, right? Minus 300 means a 3-1 betting favorite, means the market is pricing 3-1 favorite, 75% to win, 3/4 to win. Now the Bengals are less big favorites, like minus 158. But anyways, what we can do is we can look for some bets. So there's some really good bets on Fliff. Let me make sure my screen is loading properly. What's up, guys? So Joe is playing today. That's probably why lines are moving back towards the Bengals. It looks like very slightly. But anyways, this is my personal YouTube channel. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe. And let's just go through some bets. So the first play I locked in is right here. I mean, this play is clear as day, right? Like, again, as I always say, just as a sports bettor, even if you watch sports and you think you're a genius and you can figure out what's going to happen, just based on watching sports, you still should be finding value in the market, following the data. You can pair them together if you want to. So if you look at this play, right, we can get his over 6.5 receptions at plus 110 on Fliff. Literally every other sports book has this minus 113, minus 120, minus 127. That's crazy. Right? Caesars and DraftKings both have him favored to go over 6.5 receptions, and we're getting it at plus 110. So if you think about it, what is plus 110 odds? It means betting 100 to win 110. So imagine you're flipping a coin with a friend, where if the coin shows up on heads, you get $110. If it shows up tails, you give your friend $100. Right? So you get a better payout. You're flipping a coin, you get 110 when you win, you lose 100 when you lose, but this coin is weighted in our favor, right? All the sports books have his over 6.5 receptions as the favorite outcome. So that's clearly a good bet to go with. Crazy value at plus 110. Make sure you're on that shit. Here's another play I locked in. Again, I already gave this play out on Twitter. If you don't believe me that I bet it, whatever. But you can see right here, it's all the sports books are pricing, Atwell at minus 145 to go under. Fliff has him minus 110, right? Pinnacle, Bet Online, all these sports books. This is crazy, right? So both of these plays look incredible. 6% profit margin for the Bengals game. And again, these are just from the positive EV tool. All this tool does, right, is scan the market and point out value. Joe Mixon, right, I just locked this in as well. Under 4.5 receptions, minus 150 on Fliff. All the other books have this minus 200. So you can see there's a bunch of good bets, but why don't, without further ado, let's kind of get into some plays. Damn, so this play looks really good too. Joe Burrow, under 23.5 completions on Jock Market. So Joey B, he is playing. So that's actually kind of crazy. Why were the Bengals minus 330 favorites and now they're only minus 155, even with Burrow playing? Is Burrow, I don't know, we'll see. Maybe. Anyways, let's get into some bets. I'm talking too much. So we can start out with PrizePicks Underdog Fantasy. Again, finding value is important, right? This play yesterday we gave out for Underdog Fantasy on the live stream. If you were on the live stream, we have under 37.5. PrizePicks had his line at 34.5. So he had 37. So we won our bet, right? Obviously, you want to win your fucking bets. But anyways, let's go back here. Also, most insane thing in the world. This is the most insane thing in the world. If you use Hot Streak, I highly recommend you don't use this sports book anymore. I had $400 in my account. Now it's negative 92.61. So this is just a PSA. We'll look at ParlayPlay. We'll look at Baker Mayfield. This is a fucking PSA. I had $400 in my account. Now it's negative 92.61. So I message customer support and I go, yo, I've barely been betting on your sports book. My balance is negative. This is very concerning. Homie tells me, what part of this is concerning? In rare cases, we reserve the right to void entries And that can lead to a negative balance. If that happens, we'll generally work with the user to cancel open. What the fuck? It's like I haven't even bet on this platform. Not really, like occasionally on a live stream. Like just stole $600 from me randomly, I guess from like some old entries here. And it's very concerning. But anyways, I don't even know how it's legal. I'll look into it later today, but not trying to ruin the... Oh, fuck, baby, let's fucking go. We have NFL Week 4 lines dropping. Holy shit. So take a look at this, right? So let's get rid of League of Legends. You can see League of Legends. Those guys have been on break, but we got some plays coming back. But look at this, right? Lines are starting to drop already, which is crazy. It's a Monday at 2 p.m. and books are already starting to drop odds. So you can see, we got 82.5 here, right? All these OddsJam tools are doing. So the fantasy optimizer just, it works for these fantasy sites. All it's going to do is point out discrepancies. You can see they already have touchdown lines up, right? Like pretty crazy. But you can see here, right? 7-yard discrepancy between PrizePicks and Underdog. It's pretty crazy. So, I mean, you can see James Cook. I mean, another discrepancy. I say this all the time, but some of the best bets you're going to find are going to be early in the week. So you can. What kind of sucks though is you really only have 2 data points, right? It looks like only PrizePicks and Underdog have dropped odds for next week. Well, we can take a look and see if that's true. I don't want to, pull shit out of my ass. But if we look at, player rushing yards, and we can take a look at next week, and then let's find some bets. Yeah, so you can see for like next week, this betting tool is just called the sportsbook screen. It looks like they've started to drop lines. Some big discrepancies. James Cook, 6-yard gap. Brian Robinson, 52.5, 53.5. They're pretty dialed in, but still interesting. So anyways, where should we place our first bet? So long story short, I think this play is still available on Hurts, no touchdown. I think it's really good if you haven't already bet it. Right? And then obviously, if you have a lean, I always tell people, if you're thinking about next week already, if you're looking for a spot to bet, Tony's under, take him under 82.5 on Underdog. PrizePicks has the line at 75.5. Granted, there's not a ton of data points. We don't really know, what book is fucking up their line, but it seems pretty good. Damn, they are already dropping anytime TD lines as well. So we had Kelsey TD this week. Anyways, let's go back here. So where do we want to start out? So we got Underdog Fantasy, right? So we got Underdog Fantasy pulled up. Okay, let's refresh this. Let's take a look. We got rid of League of Legends. Let's take a look real quickly. Anyways, give us a PrizePicks. Yeah, we'll go through a PrizePicks here in a second, but let's start out on Underdog Fantasy, right? So we have some early Week 4 discrepancies, so it's okay, well, that's kind of interesting. But what we can also do is we could take a look at, we can take a look at A.J. Brown. So take a look at A.J. Brown, right? So honestly, these pair well together as well. But why do we like Hurts to not score a touchdown? I've explained this before. People make up all sorts of bullshit, for how to make money on Underdog Fantasy, all that type of stuff. People have all their strategies. When it all boils down, Underdog Fantasy is it's a fixed payout website. Any 3-pick entry you create, you're getting a 6x payout, right? Any 3-pick parlay you make, you're getting a 6x payout. Overs, unders, you select soccer picks. I mean, I hear people say all this dumb shit, don't bet on the MLB. That will only lose you money. And then, it doesn't make sense. You win your bets 55% of the time. You can win these over-unders like Hurts to score a touchdown or not. If you can win your picks above 55% of the time, you're going to be profitable. So let's say you can win your prop bets, right? Like A.J. Brown, over-under 5.5 receptions. If you can win your prop bets 57% of the time, these over-unders, just like A.J. Brown, over-under 5.5 receptions, you're going to be profitable. And you're going to have an ROI of 11%. So you can kind of fuck around with the spreadsheet. Literally, all it does is break down the payouts behind these platforms. So we'll go over to PrizePicks in a second, but let's finish this Underdog Fantasy one. So Underdog Fantasy, let's take a look. So you can see it's recommending we take A.J. Brown under 5.5 receptions. I would pair this with Hurts, which I really like as well. So you can see Hurts, like why is there value on Hurts as under? If you look here, every sports book, right? Like you look at all these sports books, right? They all have Hurts favored to go under, right? Fliff has him minus 175. Granted, a lot of sports books like FanDuel, they only have one-way market, so you can only bet on Hurts to score a touchdown. You can't bet on him to not score a touchdown. But long story short, it's like every book has Hurts as like, you can see here, like Fliff has the over at plus 120, the under at minus 175. So even though FanDuel isn't giving you odds on an under, you can assume they'd probably be pretty close to Fliff and have the under like minus 175. Obviously, they have Hurts to score a touchdown as the underdog, right? So, it's very simple. The strategy behind these books is if they're not changing your platform based on you selecting over versus under, you want to look to the sports books, which have variable pricing, right, based on you selecting over versus under, and you want to see what's favored. So the same way, the Eagles are favored tonight to win against the Bucs. According to the sports books, according to the betting market, Jalen Hurts is a lot more likely to not get a touchdown as opposed to get a touchdown. He's like minus 180 to go under, right? So he's a big favorite to not score a touchdown. But anyways, let's go back here. Let's go to Underdog Fantasy. Let's reload this. And let's take a look here. So if you have a lean, maybe you think, whatever, maybe you think Tony, maybe you think he's going to go under. PrizePicks seems to be the smarter side compared to Underdog Fantasy. So maybe it's a good time to take, his under 82.5 rushing yards, Cowboys running back for next week. But anyways, first play I'm going to go with is A.J. Brown, under 5.5 receptions. Again, this is great to pair with the Hurts play, right? Positive correlation. If the Eagles are having a good game, Hurts probably scores a touchdown. A.J. Brown probably getting receptions. But why do we like this play? Anyways, let's go here, right? It's very simple, right? Underdog Fantasy. They don't change your payout based on you selecting over versus under. All you got to do to be profitable long-term playing 3-pick entries is win over 55% of your picks. So if you look at every sports book, right? So let's take a look here. Let's take a look at Caesar Sportsbook, right? You can see they have A.J. Brown heavily favored to go under, right? Minus 166 odds. So we treat all these sports books, all these books, Caesars is like a $10 billion company. They have a really sophisticated model. They're moving around lines based on where action's coming in. They have A.J. Brown heavily favored to go under. I say it all the time, I follow a very data-driven approach. Maybe you don't. I don't really care. But I'm just showing you in these videos what I'm betting on. So next we can go to CSGO, take a look at some of these plays. First 2 player map kills. So here, for example, it's okay, OddsJam saying, yo, take this guy, refresh, take him over 36. So you can take a look here and the same concepts apply. All OddsJam is doing is out of these tens of thousands of lines, on Underdog Fantasy, most of these bets suck. We're really looking for those few spots, those few betting opportunities, where they're screwing up. So what you could do is you could take him under 36, over 36 is what we'd want to go with. And this would be a solid play, but again, they're not going to let me bet on Hurts, which is kind of beat because I would love to bet on Hurts again, but fuck it, we're not going to be able to. And sometimes that's just how it works. So what we can do is we can see they got any other TD plays. So I looked at, Williams, Mixon earlier, no value on either side. Because again, you need enough value where the bet's winning 55% of the time, right? A.J. Brown is a pretty big favorite to go under 5.5, receptions. He's minus 166. We're not talking about a minus 115, minus 105 market. He's a pretty big favorite to go under. So anyways, let's refresh this. Let's finish out our slip. So we got A.J. Brown under 5.5 receptions. These assholes already locked my CSGO pick. I assume someone bet it, but, Underdog Fantasy, again, you got to move quickly. There's a time component. So many people are oh, the line moved. It's this is a market, right? Just like the price of a stock is always changing. If we're getting good lines, these books are going to move things around. So anyways, they just moved this play on refresh on us, which is kind of beat. But you can see here, there's some big discrepancies, right? So like the Commanders, kind of suck. So that was my team growing up. But you can see here, Sam Howell is line as 225.5 right there, like 214.5 on PrizePicks. Again, it's not like clear who's wrong, but in general, I tend to think Underdog Fantasy, although they're probably going to be getting blown out, he'll probably throw the ball a lot. I'm not really sure. So, again, like historical data, you can see he's played pretty shitty basically every game except for against the Broncos. 170 pass yards against the Bills. So if you wanted to fade him, like now's a good time, right? Because you're getting value. We found this line discrepancy in the market. So if we want to play Howell, now's a good time. But anyways, so we got AJ Brown. Let's see what else there is. I'll try to move quickly. I want to go through all the books, right? We got ParlayPlay, we got PrizePicks, we got all these different books. So ideally we can find, some good plays for all these books. Again, depending on where you're located, you may have different books than I have. So again, what kind of sucks about esports is there's just not a ton of books posting lines. Hot Streak does, because I pulled it up and that's when I noticed these assholes just stole $600 from me, made my balance negative. Absolutely wild. But you can see here, they don't have a lineup for this player. There's just not a ton of data points. It's PrizePicks and JockMKT are saying, yo, this guy's line, right? Even if you don't use JockMKT, you should still be looking at their lines that they're putting out. It's a sophisticated book that has invested a lot of money in their ability to set lines. You want to be using all this information, to your advantage as a sports bettor. This isn't, you don't need OddsJam to do this, right? All you got to do is you can pull up these sports books and you should be finding value in the market, right? I think we can all agree you would be a fucking idiot if you took him over 36 kills on Underdog when there's a bunch of other books, 2 other books, setting his line at 34 and you could get his over 34. It's going to be pretty hard to be a good sports bettor and make money long term if you're betting over 36 when there's other books offering 34, because it's very clear you're getting ripped off, right? Damn. So we got Gainwell over 8 rushing attempts. So anyways, let me just reload this. Let's try to finish out our play. So I like this play on AJ Brown. We could roll with, we could do an early slip. Again, 5-pick entries with insurance are pretty solid. So, you can also filter for a specific sport. Some people are so let me check the chat. What's up, guys? League of Lines, Legend lines are still on Underdog. Anyways, let's go back here. So let's check here. And again, remember, if you use Hot Streak, pull out your fucking money. Negative balance is the most insane thing I've ever seen. Just literally stealing money. But anyways, let's go back here. So we got AJ Brown under 5.5 receptions. You could. An option. Damn, we got Buffalo, Miami next week. That's going to be a good game. I wonder what the odds are. So let's go here. And if we go to the Dolphins-Bills game, October 1st, this is going to be a banger. So we got James Cook under 62.5. We could do an early NFL slip. This seems solid as well. Ooh, baby. Yes. Joe Mixon, under 28.5 receiving yards. Right? We can also check out player touchdowns. We can see if the line on Williams or Mixon ended up moving. So not really. You can see Mixon, right? There's not there's not his over or his under aren't a big favorite. So they're not, neither the over or the under, neither one is winning above 55% of the time. They're both 50-50 to occur. So there's not really any value in the market. Whereas for Mixon, he's a slight favorite to score a touchdown, but not huge. But if you look at his receiving yards, so this play seems pretty solid. Damn, we got Diggs under 79.5. Huh. Man, there are a lot of discrepancies right now. But anyways, if we look at Mixon, right, so this is for tonight. This is for Monday Night Football. So if we take a look at Mixon, right, we can go here, and we can go to football. And you can see here, right, you got to consider the juice. You also got to consider where the line's being set. All we're trying to do, when you are playing on Underdog Fantasy, all you're trying to do is find bets winning above 55% of the time because those are profitable. So if you look at Joe Mixon, right, it's like, okay, like, Underdog has his line the same place as Underdog and Caesars both have the line at 28.5, but Caesars has the under as a minus 160 favorite, so a huge favorite. And you can kind of see it's the same thing for DraftKings. So again, even if you don't use these sports books, still data points for you to consider. DraftKings has him minus 140 to go under. So he is a heavy favorite to go under. Patrick Mahomes. So what we can do is, we can kind of like, okay, like there's all these discrepancies right now in the market. So we can see too, like DeAndre Hopkins, that's in the Titans game. So we can see like, do any of these things pair well together? I mean, sometimes you can find some picks that like pair well together. Anyways, not really. So we can refresh this. Again, I'm not even sure, I'm not saying I love this play on James Cook, Sam Howell, any of these guys, but there's a discrepancy in the market. It's going to go away. 7 yards rushing yards is a big deal. Again, it's a big deal. So, DeAndre Swift, it's just pointing out discrepancies, nothing complicated. 11-yard discrepancy for Sam Howell. That's got to go away. It will go away at some point. Patrick Mahomes, we got an 8-yard discrepancy. So, anyways, if we don't want to go with, maybe whatever, you're bullish on, whatever. One of these players, you can always remove them and you can go with a 4-pick entry or something like that. But maybe we just put in, let's just look at let's see if there's any CSGO picks we can throw in there as well. Anything crazy that we want to go with? Some of these plays I've already bet as well. And again, on Underdog, you can only play these things. So you can see there's a lot of CSGO discrepancies. Damn. Oh, Kelsey Plum under 4.5 assists. This play I like as well. I didn't get to bet it. I was trying to bet it. One of the lines moved on me. So that was kind of beat. But anyways, here's what I'm going to go with. 5 picks with insurance. We got 2 early NFL picks for next week. Right? And it looks like the most random slip of all time. But hey, that's where the value is. Right? So Joe Mixon, heavily favored to go under. Same thing with A.J. Brown. Right? So again, I'm just following the data. Damn, we got Buffalo. So you can see the Dolphins, the Bills are favored. Games in Buffalo, I don't know. But anyways, 5 picks with insurance. Insurance is a little better than not having insurance. So you can see here, if you can see, here's the 5 picks I went with. Again, this is a new YouTube channel. Yo, we're going to go to PrizePicks. Chill out. This is a new YouTube channel. Subscribe. It's my personal channel. We'll be hitting some bets on it. Not available on PrizePicks. So the optimizer doesn't have any TD plays for a reason. And the reason it doesn't is the optimizer requires there to be a certain number of sportsbooks posting odds to show a bet. So again, if you look at these anytime TD scores, most of these are one-way markets. So the optimizer doesn't, the optimizer only wants to show you things if there's enough data points, whatever, between main sportsbooks. So where it's screwing up, not screwing up, but you can see here, Jalen Hurts, it's a one-way market, so it's not actually a market, right? Obviously, Jalen Hurts is an underdog to score. He's plus 125, so he's very likely to not score a touchdown. Where is, this doesn't even make sense. Anytime touchdown scorer. Where is Mixon? Oh, different game, obviously. But anyways, you can see here, Jalen Hurts, he's plus 125. You're betting 100 to win 125. So obviously, he's an underdog to score according to the sportsbooks. That's what they're telling you through their odds. He is less likely to score than to not score. He is more likely to not score a touchdown. And my assumption is why Underdog Fantasy still has this lineup, right, on Hurts is because most people are clueless and just take his over. Like most new bettors, you rarely see people bet unders for anytime TD scores. So it's not surprising that a lot of times that's where, the value is going to be. So we can see if PrizePicks put it back. Yeah, you can see PrizePicks. They put it back. PrizePicks is like, they removed this before. It's very clearly a profitable bet, right? Jalen Hurts, the entire market has him heavily favored. So let's go over to PrizePicks. It's also a fun sweat, right? So on Underdog Fantasy, all you got to do to be profitable is win your player prop bets 55% of the time. PrizePicks for these 5 flex plays, and I'll put this in soon here, is all you got to do is win your prop bets 54.25% of the time on PrizePicks. So like this play on Hurts is also really good on PrizePicks. You can see like, again, Jalen Hurts. I'm not saying Jalen Hurts isn't good at football. Like I feel like a lot of people get this confused and take it all personally if I bet against their favorite player, is I'm just following the data. Hurts is heavily favored to not score a touchdown. He's minus 175 to not score a touchdown, right? I'm just following the fucking data, right? Nothing complicated. And again, remove your money from Hot Streak. They literally took $500 from me and made my balance negative. And I'm not in a good mood about it. But you can see Hurts, big underdog to score a touchdown, right? Just following the data. Anyways, you can also get it on Hot Streak. If you want to take Hurts there, I would, but my balance is negative. And I don't recommend that. That was obviously a joke. I would not recommend that. But anyways, let's go back here. And let's take a look here at some PrizePicks plays. So again, I really like Hurts to not score a touchdown. Okay, let's start going through some plays. So you can see here, right, we got WNBA, your favorite sport, my favorite sport, right? But there can be really good value in the WNBA. There is, right? So especially in these more niche leagues, these less popular leagues like the WNBA, there's oftentimes some really good bets. So like if you look at this player, Satu, her line on Underdog is 5.5, right? So what you could do too is you could middle bet this. Take her over 4.5, under 5.5, right? You're going to win both bets if she has 5 assists. Seems pretty good. So that seems decent. Man, we got some League of Legends picks. And this looks like countries, right? So where should we go next? So this play I do like as well. I mean, this play is insane, right? So let's take a look here. So Joe Burrow, take him under 23.5 passing completions. This play is fucking great. So if you look here, right, and again, very data-oriented, all that type of stuff, is if you look at Burrow, so, right, we're getting under 23.5, and we know all we got to do to make money on PrizePicks is win our prop bets 54.25% of the time. So what was I going to say? So not only does Caesars, we're getting under 23.5. Caesars has the line at 22.5. So not only are we getting value in where the line is being set, right? We're getting a full completion of value to Caesars Sportsbook. But Caesars also has insane juice towards the under. Minus 154 juice towards the under, right? They have the under heavily favored. So obviously getting under 23.5 when Caesars has the under 22.5 as a minus 154 favorite is fucking ridiculous. Anyways, I gotta charge my computer. Just got the alert. So anyways, we got now some really good picks on PrizePicks. So what we can do is we can kind of like, okay, let's try to find, 2, 3 more picks, whatever we want, to go with. So we can go here. And we can check out ParlayPlay next. Again, the more books you have, the better. We hit pretty big on ParlayPlay this weekend. What was it? The play with Josh Allen. I mean, this one ended up winning $60 to $720. So we had some decent plays there. We won our play on Jock Market that I gave out on the live stream as well. So we had a decent weekend. So anyways, right, we can check out some different plays. So Let's get rid of League of Legends. So again, it's not that there's not good bets in League of Legends. It's just it looks like it's only PrizePicks and Underdog that are showing these bets. So again, that just means like it's like this play on, it's like some of these early NFL plays. You just have, if you only have 2 data points, it's kind of hard to see like, okay, like, what book is screwing up. So if we go back here, do we like Miami next week? Do we like Miami? Plus 130 underdogs after winning a game, blowing a team out. So this play looks, great, right? Look at this play. SS Tinix, right? So if we take a look at him, again, like so many people like want to create a better model than the sports books. That's their strategy for betting. Oh, I want to create a better model than PrizePicks. It's like PrizePicks is $1 billion company. It's not going to happen. Like you're not going to just like create better projections on where lines should be set than PrizePicks. It's like a third grader mentality. It's like you want to follow the data, find these inefficiencies in the market. That's how you're going to make money, right? So you look at this guy, SS Tinix, and this is how you get a leg up on the books. PrizePicks has his line at 34, Underdog 36.5, Jock Market 34.5, Hot Streak 37.5. So again, you could middle bet this on Hot Streak if you trust it still. ParlayPlay has the line at 36.5. But even if we don't like Hot Streak, it's still a data point. It's still a sports book setting lines, right? So we're processing all this data, right, to make better bets. So over 34, clearly a fucking great play to go with. And that can be our next pick. So again, more data points all telling you the same thing, obviously the better. So that's why a lot of these plays where it's only like 2 data points, I kind of just like, skip over. There's only 2 data points. It's not really clear, who's screwing up. So it'd be great, right, too, is if we could find some correlation like digs under, whatever, paired with another under. So whenever you can find, ooh, baby. So here we got a headshot play. Let's go. So you can see here, this play is kind of interesting, right? CSGO play is, PrizePicks has his line at 18. If you prefer to go with this, maybe, so you can see in here, if you're just tuning in, here's the play we locked in on Underdog Fantasy, 5-pick with insurance. You can see Underdog has his line at 19.5. ParlayPlay has his line at 19.5 headshots. Hot Streak has his line at 19.5. Right? Like when you're just following the data, you don't get emotional about your bets. You'll make a lot more money. Can promise you that. Right? So you can see here, every fucking data point telling us his line should be at, like it's crazy. 18 versus 19.5. You'd think it was Taco Tuesday. Right? Like it's crazy. We're like creating our own Taco Tuesday. So here's one, too. So this doesn't pair well together, but you can see Underdog is constantly adding plays. They're constantly adding new markets. And sometimes I will, the thing is this doesn't pair well together, but imagine like there was some value on the Eagles kicker, right? So let's go over to punts. If there was some value, if we could find some value like, Braden Mann to go over in punts and Hurts to not score a touchdown. Like obviously if the Eagles are punting the ball a lot and he goes over, then Jalen Hurts is less likely to score a touchdown. So like sometimes you can find some nice correlation as well. So like here, damn. So you can see there's some more good plays. Again, on PrizePicks, all you got to do to be profitable, win your bets above 54.25% of the time. In Rashad White, under 3.5 receptions. What happened to SportsBattle? I don't know. SportsBattle, we stopped being able to read in, so we're working on fixing it. It'll be up soon. It's just been down for a bit. We'll add it back up. But anyways, this play pairs well together, right? So first of all, it's a play with value, winning above 54.25% of the time. So it's profitable in a PrizePicks entry. If you go to NFL, right, and you go to tackles plus assists, you can see Homie is heavily favored to go over, right? So this is a play winning above 54.25% of the time, literally just following the data. But it also pairs really well together with Hurts to not score a touchdown, right? Like you know, if if Hurts doesn't score a touchdown, if the Buccaneers have possession more of the game, then he's more likely to go over Zach Cunningham, who's on the Eagles defense. Hurts is more likely to go under, right? Then you can see McPherson. I mean, this is fucking perfect. This slip is beautiful, right? Like, this also is positively correlated. If Burrow is completing less passes, then the Bengals are less likely to be in field goal range. Evan McPherson's more likely to go under. So we have positive correlation, and then you're going to see why I hate all these fucking books is PrizePicks says, yo, your max bet size is $10 because I've made too much money off them. And not even that much money. Nowhere close to Underdog Fantasy. PrizePicks is just, they kind of suck. But this play looks great, right? Like, I mean, tons of positive correlation on this slip and 4 really good plays. Right? Like, what else can we ask for? DraftKings has this line at 5.5. This play is clear as day. Positive correlation here. Positive correlation on those two. Like, it's a banger. That's great. So we got a good play on PrizePicks. You can let me know your thoughts on it if you want. And again, like, so many people are like, oh, I like watching sports. I like including sports analysis. And it's like, okay, you can do that. You know, like, this should only help you, right? Win more slips, stuff like that. So you can see some MLB plays, you know, again, on PrizePicks, it's very simple. Everything, like, this platform has fixed payouts. So it all boils down to what percentage of your picks can you win, right? So if you can win your player props 58% of the time on PrizePicks, like, your over-unders, right? Just like Hurts to score a touchdown or not, if you can win these player props 58% of the time, your ROI is going to be 27%, right? So it all boils, so like, the higher the win rate, the better, right? Because PrizePicks is a fixed payout platform. So what we can do is maybe we're like, oh shit, like, you know, these 4 NFL plays I really like, they're all positively correlated, you know, which is great. So what we can do sometimes, if you want, anyways, McPherson, different game. What? What are you talking about, bro? McPherson is the same as Joe Burrow, right? Same team, Cincinnati. Unders, same game. Both are for Monday tonight. But anyways, we can go here. So maybe we're like, oh, we really like the NFL picks, but, like, you know, what other options are there? So what we could do is we could be like, okay, like, you know, let's take a look for some other plays. Maybe we're like, we don't, you know, want so much WNBA exposure. I don't know, but you get the point. So what we could do is, like, go back to this play, right, on SS. So, like, last time we had to pick, and we decided to go with the headshots play. But maybe this time we're like, nah, let's go with, you know, the clear as day esports value. Whereas the line is 34, it's 36.5 everywhere else. And then we can check out this one as well, right? More data points is better. So a lot of these, it looks like it's just like PrizePicks and Underdog. So again, some of those you can, like, middle bet, take the over, take the under. So here we'd rather bet the under on JockMarket, it looks like. Or what am I saying? No, well, you can take Shock over 37. Everyone else has his line, you know, higher. Seems decent. Maybe there's some other plays as well. So we can kind of look through the market. Maybe there's some better plays that we can find. So here it's like, right, cool, we have this discrepancy between PrizePicks and Underdog, but it's not really clear, like, okay, like, what play is good. So this play on Zach Cunningham is really, really good, right? Caesars has it minus 160, has him minus 160 to go over. I mean, that is big, big, big favorite, right? Which is exactly what we're looking for on PrizePicks. So if we go back here, right, and we go to defense, right, like, yeah, big favorite to go over, which is exactly what you want to go with on PrizePicks, because all you have to do to make money on PrizePicks is win your prop bets above 54.25% of the time. So what we could do is be like, okay, like, we'll replace one of those CSGO picks. Like, it doesn't matter, right? If all your picks are good, you can include your picks in as many entries as you want to. So it's just kind of up to you. how much exposure you want to the same pick, because nothing's worse than going 5 for 6. So sometimes it's nice to again, PrizePicks has me with the shitty betting limit, so obviously I would bet more on this. I think it's a great play, but what we can do is, sure, the only play we ended up replacing is the esports play, but you're just kind of diversifying. And again, this play is great, right? Jalen Hurts under, Zach Cunningham over. Perfect. That is a great pair. I wish Underdog Fantasy had this play on Zach Cunningham available. See, they're smarter. They have him at 7 tackles plus assists. So, they have him at 7 passes plus assists. So we can go back to Underdog real quick. Just see if there's anything else we're in love with that we haven't bet. AJ Brown under 5.5. Some of this stuff we've already got. Joe Mixon's under. A lot of this stuff we've already talked about. Again, I don't want to keep these live streams much too long. So whatever. There's some other discrepancies, but nothing to write home about. Again, I say this all the time, but depending on where you're located, you may have different sports books available to you. So if we go here and we go to NFL, so we can kind of take a look what's out there on FanDuel. Damn. Oh my God. So we got to play on ParlayPlay. So now we got to rush over to ParlayPlay. And again, I always recommend having more of these books. It takes just a few seconds to sign up. This is the worst experience. This is the worst experience I've ever had with a sports book, is right here dealing with Hot Streak. But you're sure as shit I'm getting my money back. So anyways, we can go here. So let's see too. Do they have Hurts to rush for a touchdown? So ParlayPlay is smarter. They don't have this play on Hurts available. How about a ParlayPlay? We're looking at ParlayPlay. Anyways, Joseph, it's not just Fliff that has Hurts as a big under, right? It's every sports book, right? FanDuel, literally the entire betting market has Hurts as a big favorite to go under. You can even look at, again, if you're betting with your gut, you won't stand a chance. Everyone who bets on sports watch fucking football, and they all lose money. So you can see here, Jalen Hurts is a favorite to not score a touchdown on the betting exchanges as well, right? So you can see here, this is a peer-to-peer betting site in Europe, and he's favored to go under. Although it does look like, it does seem like getting plus 135 it does seem like if you can get, Jalen Hurts to score a touchdown around plus 135, it does seem like a good hedge. You could always hedge on Fliff and take him plus 140 to score a touchdown, because that doesn't seem, horrible. So what we can do is, you can always go to Fliff and bet on him to score a touchdown. So what do we want to do? Let's look at So let's look at ParlayPlay, because it looks like there's a lot. Oh my God, there are a lot of good plays on ParlayPlay. So we've been sleeping on ParlayPlay, but again, if there's value there, that's what we got to be on. So where do we want to start? So why don't we start with, Smith under? Oh my gosh, this play looks incredible. Damn. So let's go here, and let's just actually filter out books aside from ParlayPlay, which I do sometimes, Sometimes you just want to see certain sports books, especially if you found some really good picks. So on ParlayPlay, the optimal slip type is 5 or 6 pick insured entries. So what we can do is we can go to a 6 pick with insurance, and golly, damn. So you can see there's a lot of plays in the Eagles game. So you kind of want to consider, again, if we're taking Devonta Smith to go under, it doesn't really make sense to take an Eagles receiver to go, it doesn't make sense to take Mike Evans to go under. If Smith is going under, then probably the Bucs have the ball more and Evans is more likely to go over. I mean, that would be my assumption. I could be wrong. But anyways, if we go here to Gainwell, Like what you could do is something like this, under for Smith, over for Gainwell. I mean, that seems halfway decent, right? But anyways, there's a lot of plays. I'm sure we'll find something to go with. It's just sometimes when you're betting on things in the same games, that's when you need to be, just like a little more careful. Although this play seems best. So actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with this, right? Ryan Neal, take his over, and then we'll go with Godwin under. And granted, this play is lower EV, but this seems like it would be positively correlated, right? Like if Godwin isn't getting a lot of receptions, then the Eagles most likely have the ball more, and Ryan Neal is most likely getting more tackles plus assists, right? So if you look at every sports book, right? So again, data. All these sports books have his line, first of all, higher. We're getting over 6 on Ryan Neal. DraftKings has his line higher at 6.5, and they have the over favored. That's crazy, right? Like that's literally insane. And you can see the same thing here, on Caesars. They have his line at 6.5 with the over favored. So this is the most ridiculous play I've seen all day. Damn. So let's fly through. Again, I say this too, like some of the great betting opportunities, they're not going to last forever. So the quicker you can move to get in on these bets, the better. So what we could do, ooh, baby. Well, this play doesn't pair well. So here we have the punts play. So it wouldn't make sense to take his under and punts here. Oh my God. There are a lot of plays. I don't know what to do. So we got a lot of plays. Oh my gosh. Stafford, under 255.5 passing yards. So this is a different game. Man, there's just value everywhere, right? Check out Stafford, right? Let's go. And I'm trying to move quickly, so I'll stop talking and we can just place some bets and try to follow along, build with it so you can tail before the line moves. Stafford's line is lower at 252.5 and the under is heavily favored. So on ParlayPlay, this is a no-brainer. And it's recommending Joe Burrow under in passing yards, under 257.5. So we can actually see, like, how do we feel about players taking both unders for QBs? So if we go to passing props, right? Are you serious? They don't even have a lineup for Joe Burrow passing yards? What is wrong with these sports books? Does Caesars have it? So if we go to same game parlay, right? If we take Burrow's under, let's go to DraftKings too. DraftKings has these same game parlays. So if we go to same game parlay, right? If we take both quarterbacks to go under, usually that's positively correlated, but man, they don't have any lines up. So let's go here. So what we can do is you can look at it for a different game as well. So if you go to FanDuel, for example, and you go to like passing yards, right? If you take both QBs to go under, your parlay comes out to plus 233. Whereas if you take one over, one under, it comes out to plus 261. Right? So they're giving you worse odds when you take both unders together, which is indicating to you that it's positively correlated to take both players to go under. Right? If they're giving you a worse payout, that means they think it's more likely. So we want to take Joe Burrow's under here. Right? Damn. A lot of plays. Wow. Okay. So there's a lot of plays on ParlayPlay, and I say it all the time. Wherever there's value, I'll be betting. Damn. So we got Ben Skowronek over 4.5 receiving yards. There's a lot of random bets out there. But anyways, let's just lock this in. $100 is the max bet size they give you. Gerchuk is not available. These guys can move lines quickly sometimes. So let's go back to that other MLB play we were considering. Where was it? Ooh. Alyssa Thomas over 16 points, whatever, sure. We can go with this. FanDuel has our line at 16.5, so a little bit of value on the over, and we can place this. So this play is great, right? And again, the best play, these two plays are the best, Ryan Neal and Chris Godwin, and they're positively correlated. Please check Rashad White under 3.5 receptions, -145 odds on PrizePicks. How about a parlay play? Mike Evans, receptions or receiving yards. Yeah, parlay play is nice for real. I agree with you, Ice Walrus. I'm checking out these I'm checking out the comments on Fliff. But anyways, here's the first play we went with, but we're not done, right? We got 5 really good picks in, 5 great picks in, but there was more value. So did these assholes remove the play on Devonta Smith already? Man, they already moved it down from 5 to 5.5. It's like they're watching. It's just frustrating. But anyways, what we can do is we can go back here and we can see, Evans under 4.5 seems decent. Right, and again, all the books have his under heavily favored, just like PrizePicks, all these platforms. It's a fixed payout platform. They're not changing your payout based on you selecting over versus under. So what's the deal with this second play? What's the deal here? When does this so he plays at 5 p.m. So we're going to have a little esports NFL sweat. If you were on the live stream yesterday on Underdog Fantasy. So this play on Grichuk is still available. You said it wasn't? Oh, well, they pulled it. But anyway, so we have this play on Ryan O'Neal. I already bet it for the max, so I'm not going to be able to bet more on it, right? A.J. Brown under 5.5 receptions. All the books have his line at 4.5. So that's an option, right? So what we could do is we could go with A.J. Brown under 5.5. Granted, we already have that on Underdog. Maybe we don't want to double down, or maybe we do. But what we can do is we can also look at, so it doesn't, right, it wouldn't make sense to take his under, or this, wait. Yeah, this does make sense to pair together, right? If he's punting the ball a lot, if he's not punting the ball a lot, right? If he goes under, the Bucs most likely have the ball longer, so the Eagles have possession less. So A.J. Brown's more likely to go under. Damn. So this doesn't make sense to include, though, right? We don't want to take unders, right? It doesn't make sense to take a Bucs defender to go under and their kicker to go under in punts, right? That doesn't make sense. If the Bucs are punting all the fucking time in this game, then he's going to be on defense more often. He's going to be getting more tackles and assists. So you kind of have to pick, is this going to be an Eagles value slip? Same thing here, right? We got Evans over 4.5. So this now does make sense. So let's get rid of this play on Barrett. And this play is starting, all these plays look good, right? If A.J. Brown isn't getting receptions, the Eagles are on defense more. Justin Evans more likely to go over. And best of all these plays have value, right? You can see here, right? We just, following the data, as always. Justin Evans, heavily favored to go over 4.5 tackles and assists on all the sports books. So that's a great play to go with. Man, there are a lot of plays in this game. That's for sure. Crazy. So here we go. John Gray under 16 outs. So we can take a look here, right? Under 16 pitching outs, and we need one more pick after this. But if you want to just check out the lines, check out the data, is you can see here, right? All the books in general have his line at 15.5. Nothing to write home about, but still a solid play to go with. Damn, so we want, so this play seems solid though. Levante David under 7.5 tackles plus assists. That seems great, right? Damn, there are a lot of these tackles plus assist plays. Again, all the books have them heavily favored to go under. So this seems great, right? If let's say the Eagles have a bad game, A.J. Brown probably is going under. The Bucs aren't going to be punting as much. They're going to be on defense more, so Justin Evans more likely to go over, longer Bucs possessions. And Levante David, right, more likely to go under in tackles plus assists. So all these plays look great from a correlation perspective. So we can lock it in, right? All these plays seem great together. Rashad White. Anyways, let me know your thoughts, but all these pair pretty dang well together, in my opinion, at least. So, you know, there's some more plays. I'll probably live stream here in a second, but I'm gonna get a smoothie or something. So you can see here, damn, you know, there's some big discrepancies in the Rams game starting to pop up. Williams rushing yards, FanDuel has him at 59.5. You can see ParlayPlay has him at, 65.5. So there's some other plays, but this play is just, it's really good. So hopefully you were able to tail it. Crazy correlation on these picks. So I'll probably be back on live stream before the game. Just going to get a smoothie. And any questions, I tried to check the live stream more often, stuff like that. But if you're just tuning in, we hit this on ParlayPlay. We hit a couple of good ones on PrizePicks. So Jalen Hurts, no touchdown. And then we got some other good ones on Underdog Fantasy. So I'll probably tweet out a new live stream link here in a second. I just need to get some food. Fucking hungry, get some coffee. Yeah, and again, this is a new YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed, make sure to subscribe. This plays crazy. I mean, this was the best one. I mean, again, it's not a lock. I'm never going to say that, but we had some really good correlation on this slip.